my soul, feel it in my soul, Lord. Feel it in my soul. Phi Beta Sigma God soul. Phi Beta Sigma God soul. Said Phi Beta Sigma God soul. Phi Beta Sigma God soul.
Hello and welcome back to the Brother2Brother series. We are here having conversations with our International First Vice President, Jean B. Lamont, and various brothers in the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Today's guest is going to be Eugene McIntosh, crossed in Fall 11 Gamma Beta. He is the immediate past director of education of Alabama. He is the collegiate advisor of Alpha Psi Alpha, and he,
Eta Sigma Vice President.
You're vice president.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to make sure I keep getting this stuff, man. Make sure I get it straight because you got a couple of things going on with your resume.
Vice President Alpha Eta Sigma.
Yes. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, Brother McIntosh. Good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. I'm just going to go ahead and ask this question because as a young brother, I came into this fraternity, and my whole goal as being a part of this fraternity is to make sure it grows and make sure that it gets to its next peak. So when I became a part of this organization, I did become an advisor. And being a young advisor, I saw a lot of things that were challenging and were at best known some things that I had learned by experience. So as a young brother, what would you give as advice for a brother that will be a collegiate advisor?
Okay, so first and foremost, let me just say thank you for the work that you did as the state of Alabama education director. 4 years, fantastic work. To your question, I do believe that that the way we think about collegiate advisors has to change. I really believe there needs to be a paradigm shift. In the past, we've always said that we have one collegiate advisor for a chapter. I think we need to kind of revisit that and start thinking about we need a team of collegiate advisors to help manage a chapter. I think it's not fair to ask one person to manage and to help provide support for a collegiate chapter. So that's the first thing. Changing the concept to a team concept and making sure a number of brothers within that alumni chapter are providing the support that's necessary and needed to help to grow our collegiate brothers. You may or may not be aware that we've developed Collegiate Advisors University, and that is a way to kind of streamline and make sure that our collegiate advisors have the necessary training and the tools that they need to be effective advisors. If our advisors are not skilled, then they're failing our collegiate brothers. So our Collegiate Advisor University training is really geared to helping our collegiate advisors know how to be more effective advisors.
Okay. All right. Now I noticed, because I did peep your resume just a little bit. You see your resume. I noticed that you graduated from Rutgers.
Yes, that's correct.
So when you graduated from Rutgers, that is a predominantly white institution, correct?
That's correct.
So being that it's a predominantly white institution, I'm currently, like you said, I am the advisor for Alpha Psi Alpha, which is on a predominantly white institution. Now, we do have a split now because it's half white, well, majority white and majority black, and a piece of it that's black. But my question to you, what would be some of the best practices that you have probably seen or you would advise as a collegiate advisor to increase membership on a predominantly white institution?
Okay, great question, great question. I think it's important to note, while we are an organization of men of color, right, most of our chapters exist at where? Predominantly white institutions.
Yes.
I think it's equally important to recognize that you have to have a different strategy and a different approach for our predominantly white institutions as opposed to our HBCUs. We have on our blueprint two strategies. We have a strategy for HBCUs and a strategy for PWIs. I'm of the opinion that Phi Beta Sigma needs to be more inclusive and diverse.
Yes.
And by that I mean is that when you go to a PWI, most folks don't look like you and I, right? So it's important for us as members of the organization to recognize that, but also look to bring individuals who are qualified, as long as they believe in our principles, they believe in our values, that we should be recruiting outside of people that look like us. We should be going after students. If they're about brotherhood, they're about scholarship, and they're about service, then we need to be recruiting them. And I think that's where we begin to grow exponentially as an organization, in particular at PWIs.
Okay. Now, I'm glad that you did bring up about HBCUs, because as I was, before I became the advisor for a predominantly white institution, I was the advisor for a HBCU. And it does give me versatility, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be an advisor for both. But I did see a big difference in how they carried and they handle business. And one of the things that they did have an issue with was the finance on campus, because when you're trying to go to these various conferences, such as your regionals, your conclave, which we're currently in the process of getting ready to go to now, they are looking for funds to furnish all brothers to go, because they want all brothers to experience conclave. They want brothers to see that from the national standpoint, just not from a regional and state standpoint. So what would be some advice for a collegiate advisor to give to some collegiates that are looking to boost their finances on an HBCU campus because they don't have the additional funding from that a PWI may have?
Great question again, Brother Eugene. I have to give a special shout out to our International Executive Director, Brother Darrell Anderson, Honorable Darrell Anderson, because he, along with a team, put together a packet that addresses just that. We have our conclave coming up in about 4 or 5 months, and they put together a packet teaching brothers what they need to do in terms of how they go to the universities to ask for money. I think we have to educate not just at HBCUs, but PWIs as well. The steps that they need to take, to go to the university to ask for money. The other part of it is, is not waiting until the last minute to try to get to a state conference or to get to a regional conference or to get to a conclave. All of our collegiate chapters are sponsored by alumni chapters. Right. So there needs to be, I think, a very, again, an intentional relationship from the alumni brothers, teaching our brothers too how to manage money, yes. how to plan and save money and try to, build towards, having the resources to do what they need to do. But all of that, again, is learning, that's tutoring, that's mentoring our collegiate brothers. So again, speaks to that relationship, brother to brother, making sure that our alumni brothers are really sitting down with our collegiate brothers and saying, okay, this is how you got a budget. Okay, this is what you need to do if you want to get to the state conference. This is how much you need to do if you want to get to the regional conference. This is what you need to have as far as lodging, as far as traveling. So I think all these things can be taught, but it has to be done on a consistent basis to try to prepare our collegiate brothers for our state, regional, and conclave experiences.
Brother, I think that you got a A1 goal and A1 plan, and I think that what I just asked you is stellar. And I'm going to be going back to both of my chapters and actually implementing a lot of this stuff, because I know that they're going to need this in the new fiscal year, and as long as they're under my membership and under my leadership, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing what they need to do. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
No problem.
Have a good one.
Phi Beta Sigma's got soul. Phi Beta Sigma's got soul. Phi Beta Sigma's got a PHI, a BETA, a SIGMA. Phi Beta Sigma's got a PHI, a BETA, a SIGMA. Hey, Phi Beta Sigma's got soul. Abracadabra, alakazam. Magic don't make no Sigma. Phi Beta Sigma's got soul. Abracadabra.